this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions. The title of this video, Tiny Tim's Tonka Trucks. This is a Cobb County find, and it's a U-Haul find of all the strangest. I mean, seriously, I've gotten so much good stuff at U-Haul that's weird, but the thing is, it's always like weird how I get it. Because this was the Monday trail. I'll never forget it because it was one of those days where my pockets were thin. They were really thin. But I went out anyway. I had a full tank of gas. I'm like, what the hell? You know, you can't win if you don't show up. So go out and we start off in freaking Douglasville. Then we work our way back up to Kennesaw. And all day, you know, I see stuff I want, but I don't have the money. And that's a very frustrating feeling. And it's just going on and on and on and on. Then we get to the property that's not too far from the Big Chicken. And we're just going in there. And at the point, people were kind of dropping off because there was a lot of rooms and people were buying stuff and they were getting them at decent prices. But like I said, my pockets were thin and I really couldn't get anything. And we went on and Dale was calling out the rooms. And for some reason, sometimes people don't pay attention because Dale did an auction and then I followed the manager and I went to a room. Then Dale showed up and it was just like a little closet room, and it just was like, it looked like freaking match. It didn't make any sense. It was just weird stuff stacked in there. It was clearly the stuff of an elderly person. You know, I saw an Afghan. I saw one of those, the brown wood grain microwave oven, and you know, people were like walking by, and they just like looking, walk by. And I just said $5. I was like, shit, I ain't getting anything today. And you know, he's like, so and that was it. Wrote my number down on the paper and we went on, and I just put my lock on, and I didn't really think of it. It was just kind of like, I knew I had a week to clean it out. And you know, at least if I got enough to make gas money, you know, it was that kind of day. And went up to Kennesaw and I saw some killer rooms. Killer! Couldn't get anything. Didn't have the money. Couldn't get it. And I was like, oh well, since I'm already up here, I might as well get what I can get out of this room. And I do that. And it's really depressing. It's really freaking depressing because I'm pulling out stuff, and apparently the elderly gentleman, and his name was Tim. It was Timothy, but we're gonna call him Tiny Tim. Was sick. Don't really know what was wrong with him, but there was all the stuff that you see when you get a unit of a person who was sick. You know, you get the urinal thing. There was the portable potty. There was the oxygen stand. Well, it's not an oxygen tank, just a stand. And that sort of stuff, and I'm pulling it out, and I'm just like, God, man, I could have kept my freaking $5. And I was like, you know what? Bought the unit, get what you can, you gotta clean this crap out. And at that time, I knew the manager, and I was like, look, I got some stuff that's clearly trash. Do you mind if I use your dumpster? He was over there and was like, it's empty, go ahead. So I'm spending like the next 2 hours there, because I'm like, okay, trash. I had my trash bags with me, I was bagging stuff up, throwing stuff out, reading stuff. Then, you know, it got kind of interesting because he had some letters from when he was in the Navy. Those were cool. I like stuff like that. I was like, okay, you know, this ain't that bad. You know, this satisfies that curiosity. I love looking at that stuff because people from that era, they just had a different way of communicating. I think that was more heartfelt, more authentic. And that was like, that kind of lifted my spirits because, you know, at that point, I'm like, I thought maybe I was going to make $80. $80, and, you know, I started being thankful. The manager let me use the dumpster. I was like, okay, you know, $80. We're gonna do some stuff, and I still had stuff to go. And then the back of the unit got much neater. It was boxes and stuff, and I was going through the boxes and everything, and I found like more sellable stuff. So, you know, I had $200. I'm like, okay, you know, $200 for a day's work, that ain't bad. I mean, you ain't getting rich, but that ain't bad. You know, really be thankful. So, you know, I kind of perked up a little bit, and all the trash was gone, and the stuff that was left, I was able to put in the van. I mean, it was just, you know, it was just boxes and stuff, and you know, I took the letters because, you know, I was going to read them before I gave them back, and just going through the stuff, and then I came across some old suits, which I had a source, because understand, everything that sells once will sell twice. It's just a matter of the marketplace that you find for it, because, you know, those suits were back in town, but the thing is, Tiny Tim. He must have been maybe 5'9" and maybe 140, 150 pounds at his healthiest. He was one of those really little dudes. But I was able to sell those suits. So, you know, it just kept getting gooder and gooder. Now, I understand. I was happy at that point. I was thrilled. I was ecstatic because, you know, it was just like, this ain't bad. Because sometimes, you know, you buy a unit and you don't see good stuff immediately. Sometimes you don't see good stuff in the middle, and you become a little despondent. You're just like, damn, why did I do this, right? Then, you know, you have to dig and find the jewels. And, you know, I was at about $500, which ain't bad for $5. And a little gas money, you know, because the van probably, you know, I was up $450. Just $450, easy to sell stuff, you know. And then I still had boxes to go through because the boxes were taped up and everything. And I don't really like to get too deep in my stuff at the unit, and it was getting dark, and I just put it in the van. Went home, got some stuff. Then the next day I woke up and I said, okay, let me go through these boxes. Because, you know, at that point, I mean, I just saw normal, regular stuff. That's all I saw. So I wasn't like really expecting anything. So I'll go to the boxes. One box is full of cast iron, well, not just cast iron skillets, but everything from the kitchen. A few cast iron skillets, which was more coin, you know. It was like, okay, you know, it's still giving. And I went through some more stuff, found some clothes, found, you know, the paintings and stuff, or the little plaques and, you know, family pictures. I just kind of one box I just put back in the van because it was just nothing but pictures and stuff, and I was going to take that back with the love letters. And I get to another box, and I open it up, and rip it open, and it's freaking Tonka trucks, right? This is how stupid I was, because I was pissed. It's like, yeah, they're kind of neat, you know. I was thinking, yeah, I'll keep them, you know, Tonka trucks. This was my early days in the storage auction business, you know. I'm like, and the thing is, I was thinking, because see, they weren't like the newer Tonka trucks, like the ones I played with when I was a kid, the big earth movers. And it was like this old, you know, I was like, man, look at this crap, right? So I put the box in the garage, and I go to lunch. Then I go to some auctions. Then I come back home that night about 8:30 something, and I see that I'm like, let me go look this crap up. Holy moly! I didn't know. I had no clue. I had one of the 1960 Tonka trucks, not in mint condition, but with the box in pretty good condition, very good condition. There was a few nicks and stuff on it, but that bad boy went for $1,500. And the person who got it was very happy. There was a little tractor and another little Tonka truck. Collectively, they went for $4,200 for everything. Would have made more, but one guy got something, and it was my fault. I didn't take enough pictures, and there was a defect on one of the items. And he said, look, I want it, but, you know, I didn't see the defect. And, you know, to me, this guy was a good eBayer, because he came straight. He said what it was, and he said, if you just take $50 off, I'll be happy. Refund $50. He left positive feedback. Everyone went on and had a great life. And it was one of those teaching moments. It was one of those, whoa, because that's one of the reasons that I bought crappy units. But understand, I didn't pay $500 for the crappy unit. I paid $5 freaking and netted out at 5 G's. And it just was like, wow, how did that happen? And it just taught me something, because believe it or not, before I bought that unit, I saw a unit, and Mark Rowan, he got it, and right there in the front was these Tonka trucks and stuff, and I just walked off, and there was more of those Tonka trucks than what I got out of Tiny Tim's unit. And I was sitting there, and thousands of freaking dollars were staring me in the face, and I had no clue at that point. That's how the storage auction business worked, because once you become initiated, once you learn some stuff, you could be looking at money that other people have no idea. Because right now, there's a lot of guesswork, and there's a lot of hope, and there's a lot of ambition, and there's a lot, I hope I make some money type crap. I didn't do that. You know, I bought stuff cheap, and I got lucky a lot of times, because Tiny Tim's unit, it was just luck. I'm not going to say I knew what the hell I was looking for. You couldn't see the Tonka trucks. They were in the box. They were in the back of the unit. but I got a unit for $5 and I thought it was gonna make like, $500 and end up doing very, very well. So part of this business is not trying to ball out, because I'm not gonna tell anyone to go out there and just spend all your money on the unit. No, because I think like I said, we're in this period where more and more people are gonna start falling out of this business because it's challenging. It's a hard freaking business. And for those of you who stay in the game, like I did, because my first few months, I caught hell. They were running me up. My car got hit. And I thought these deliverance hillbillies were freaking crazy. I was like, why in the hell are you paying $200 and $300 for that crap? I didn't know. And the only way you're going to know is to actually spend some money, get out there, and as Dwayne likes to say, buy your education. That's the reason it is. And it taught me a lot, because later on when I got stuff like that, because the Tonka thing taught me how to look for antique toys. And, essentially a quick tutorial, you get a toy, it can still sell if it's all messed up. But if you get the toy and you get the original box, oh my God. It's like the box counts for so much. And even if it's a little damaged, as long as it's in good to great condition, I meant you can get good coin off of the craziest crap. Like Tonka. It just blew my mind. I wanted to go out and have some t-shirts printed up like I love Tonka. I couldn't believe that stuff. And that's the type of stuff that happens to you in this business. Then like my other video, the worst unit I ever bought, where I spent $800 on the unit, lost my ass, and spent another $200 throwing it away. That can happen to you too. That's one of the things that I'm really proud of, that since 2009, I didn't just go ahead and say, oh, it's all good, it's all wonderful. No, I told you about the rat droppings, the snakes, the roaches. It's all part of the storage auction business. And looking back, I'm glad I went through all of that crap, because it was worth it. It was well worth it. Now, you may have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Because if you get in the business, you're going to work your ass off. You just are. That's just the nature of the business. That's what's going to happen. But, that's Tiny Tim, and thanks, Tim. Appreciate it, because, looking at his love letters, looking at a lot of stuff about him, this is a good guy. He was a good, solid guy. He was a family man, and I'm quite sure he's up there, because dude was like on point. Like I said, military man, took care of his family, and somehow, some way, this stuff ended up in the storage unit off Dodge Street. That's how it happens. All right, this is Glendon. We're making money with storage unit auctions.